there, I am MadMartin from UG Media, and I am joined today by a member of Archetype.
Or Archetype is fine
Is it
as well.
Archetype? Is it Archetype?
Yes.
Archetype? So you're looking, you know, when you look at something and you see it and you're thinking, how is that pronounced?
Archetype sounds like a child maybe. Oh, he's a very Archie type though, isn't he? Whereas Archetype is different, isn't it?
My bad, ladies and gentlemen. So, you guys are an instrumental band.
Yep.
So we just had a quick chat there about that.
Yep.
So, was it always something that you just wanted to do?
We didn't necessarily do it like that, but I think we started making up songs and stuff like that, and then we got into a groove of making these songs up. We tried a couple of singers and stuff like that, but then we just thought, well, we're enjoying playing these songs, let's go play them live. Happened to start going really well, so we just carried on doing that, and if the right singer came along, then we'd definitely, you know, go, okay, let's give it a go. So, but we are an instrumental band, but we're prepared that if somebody wanted to try out, but they'd have to be just right.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Because usually each band has their own writing process with writing music and stuff. Because obviously yours is already just solid instrumental now. So for someone to come in and then put lyrics to something that's already there, that's going to be incredibly interesting. If you did have a singer, how would you go around that?
They would have to work hard. That's pretty much it, and obviously I think we'd write our songs a little bit differently to make it more open musically, as in like make the music a little bit simpler, to leave the space there for the vocals. But obviously at the moment what we do is we let the melodies that we play on the guitars and the bass and even the fills on the drums fill in for what you'd miss from having a vocalist. So that's the reason that most people kind of like get to the end of the set and they're literally like, did they have a vocalist? You're like they don't really even notice that we didn't have a vocalist because they felt like everything was there, so they didn't feel like it was a meal with something missing.
Cool. So with writing processes and with bands writing music and stuff, a lot of them will just like write music on personal experiences and whatever else, and it gets expressed in the lyrics. Do you feel that you do that in a different way with just being instrumental? Or is it just something that is gels that you put together? It is because it's technical. You know, there's no trade or take away from that. I'm just interested in how the arrangement is to get the songs together.
I don't think we have any kind of thing that goes, we have to do it like this and this and this. We'll just do it and go, oh, that sounds good. Let's go to here from there, and then it'll be like one of us come up with a riff, and it'll be like, oh yeah, that'll work. But then we should bring that back in at this point. But like half the speed, or let's miss out that note, but then have a stop here and then do this and then do that, and then we get to a point of it just being like, you've got to remember that the way we write it is almost like a bit of a journey, but it's also the fact that we're always thinking riffs. Too many bands that most of their stuff is just an open 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 1, and we just thought, oh, let's bring back let's get some riffs going on. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, so that's the reason that we just kind of riffs, and then it's like try and keep it as interesting as possible all the way through. If we're getting bored of it, other people are getting bored of it. But we always enjoy playing, even our set that we're playing at the moment. We just always enjoy playing live, because we've got certain points in the songs that we go, we get it right, we go yeah, or we'll look around at each other and go. We get just a little bit wrong, so to keep that excitement going, because it's still technically difficult to play it, but not too technical, I like to think.
Cool. So so with going back with the differences between a vocal band and an instrumental one, so instead of it being more emotion and what's gone on, it's more of a technical. Would you say it's more technical and production based?
Not really, it's more about making sure that we try and not involve too many notes, and like just think about the way that music for years was just instruments, no singing. You know, I mean, there's choirs and stuff like that, but I mean, a lot of stuff, if you have orchestras and stuff like that, there's no singing in that. That's all instrumental, and that's very emotive. So therefore, as long as the melodies are there and it grabs you in one way or another, the way that another person might define it making them feel is up to them. And obviously we've got a certain way that makes us feel, but if they can take a different way from us, that's not a problem. As long as they enjoy the song and then kind of go, oh, that made me feel like this, I remember that made me feel, you know, just it's all about being emotive, even though they don't got lyrics to go from. So.
Yeah. So I know you got the likes of Yngwie Malmsteen, which is pretty much an entire gig as one big lead guitar solo.
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was one of the guitarists that I got into. I remember getting into it very young and being just like, oh, Eric Clapton and stuff like that. Why are they all playing so slow? And Eric Clapton, I'm like, but they're playing too slow until you get older and you go, oh, note choice. You don't need to play every note every time. Interesting. So that's So I mean, that goes towards Archetype's songs. Definitely, we try and make it technical, but we also want to keep people who aren't into instrumental music still involved without going too far. With like.
It's quite interesting because I know that there are other instrumental bands out there. I know that bands that have had singers and then are an instrumental band now, and they were like, oh well, dropped at the last minute. We got this gig, we'll play anyway, instrumental. And now they've got to like it, and now they're actually forming around that now, which is really, really interesting. Now I saw these guys. I don't know if you ever heard of them, Vengeful Atonement. They've been on the scene a little couple of years. They were Melt to the Masses a few times and whatever else, and so they're looking more, have been going down that route, which is interesting because now it's the same songs, but without the vocalist, it just brings a different edge to it. It's like, hang on a minute, but it's the same song, but it sounds very different. It's very sweet. It's good. It's good. It's just.
I guess if you already had vocals to it beforehand, that's a different thing altogether, isn't it? Because then you're automatically your brain's going. But I remember I like those bits of the vocals and this and that. So luckily with us, we haven't got any vocals from the start. So it's automatic. If you like it, then you like it as it is. So.
Cool. When you go preparing for a gig, is there any pre-gig prep thing that you do, or like things that you? To be, let's say for argument's sake, I've seen the vocalists go into the toilet and warble and whatever else, and people stretch their hands or whatever. Is there anything that you do specifically before a gig?
No, I might wet my hair, because my hair gets really voluminous if I don't wet it, and then it'll literally just be like a big boff in front of my face, and then I just can't control it. And then I'll be like trying to look all the notes that I need to play, and at the same time I'm trying to remember the notes at the same time when I was trying to be able to see the notes. So I'll literally just like slap some water on my hair so I can I can like, and it's like one of those things you go, why don't you just cut it? I was like, because if it feels good at the performance, I like to think about the way that somebody sees you play, and then you think about what you like to see when you see people play. And I'm like, I like people with long hair going for it. Do you know what I mean? When they got short hair, they can see everything fine. Of course they can play guitar well. Try playing guitar with long hair. That's how you really know.
that'll be the test of time.
Yeah, that's right.
Wicked. Has there been, apart from being blinded by hair while you're doing a gig, is there anything that's happened humorously on stage or at any point, or even during rehearsal that's just absolutely hilarious?
One of the things happened at a gig that we played at Rebellion in Manchester is that Dino, the bassist, in a particular song, his bass stopped working and he was trying to fix it and everything like that, but we carried on playing, me and the drummer did, and it got to a certain part where he was supposed to do a bigger like that, and then when it stopped, me and the drummer went bigger we just both did it, and it was just like one of those things that Peter turned around and went,
if a first didn't succeed,
exactly, improvise. That was pretty good.
Cool. Where are you guys from? Is it
North Wales? Cool. Kind of the Conway area of North Wales.
I've got no idea about Wales.
It's near a sea. There is a beach near where we are, so that means that it's the top.
Okay, top.
The very top, before it hits the sea. That's quite north,
the big
isn't
blue
it?
wet thing.
Yeah, that's the one.
What's the local music scene there?
There is not one.
There is not one.
No.
There's just not one.
No.
So that's quite interesting. So how are you so do you get gigs in the local?
We usually get gigs everywhere else, basically.
Just everywhere
Manchester,
else.
Birmingham. We want to play places where people want to listen to music. Like not just go to a pub and listen to a load of covers. Actually, want to listen to music. Luckily, we managed to get placed in Manchester with people that actually want to listen to music. So
that helps.
We come and give them some music and hope that they enjoy it.
Cool. Have you guys travelled around a great deal at all?
I mean, we haven't gone. I don't think we've travelled as far as we'd want to, but we've done pretty well in everywhere that we've played. I think that a lot, like I said, we could play like rock gigs, and then we could also play metal gigs. And then because we're instrumental, like the rock gigs aren't like, because obviously it was our music and it had screaming on top of it. Have to be a metal gig. It wouldn't be. Whereas us, we could be in between. We could be in any kind of gig. I mean, a lot of times people will be come up to us and go, "I don't usually like music like yours," and I feel like going, "What kind of music are we then?" Because they find it really difficult to explain what kind of music it is. But I mean, the fact that they enjoyed it, and it's obviously our performance seems to encourage a lot of people. Like they like, I love the way that you were going for it. You look like you're enjoying yourself, and that you made me feel like I was enjoying it. And then I actually just enjoyed it and didn't even think about the fact that there were no vocals. Just went, "Oh, I'm really enjoying this. Really good." Sometimes you get that whole thing of, "Oh, sing it," you know, and you're like, "Oh, I don't really want to sing anything." Like, we'll never do that.
That's it. Yeah, we don't have to do all that sort of thing. Going back to playing and stuff. What's been your most influence or influences?
Influences. Me and the drummer Graham, our biggest influence is Dream Theater, and our bassist's biggest influence is Metallica. So there's a progressive kind of, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, so you're playing metal, which is kind of fastish, but then it's progressive. Never saw that one coming. Yeah, so that's pretty much like that. I mean, like, I don't think there's any instrumental bands that we got into before we started playing to go, oh, we can be an instrumental band. But since then, like Animals and Leaders and all that kind of stuff have kind of come out and become more popular, and we're like, oh yeah. And then another band called Tosca, which people kept saying, oh, you sound like Tosca. It's like, never heard of Tosca. And then so we heard Tosca, we're like, they sound like us. No, we sound like you. No, they sound like us. That kind of thing. Just because it's more like a lot of the instrumental bands are usually more like soundscapes, where we're more kind of riff-based.
Right.
More riffs, and you know, sometimes you kind of like all this echo and stuff like that. We hardly use any echo. We just kind of just want people to hear the stuff that we're playing. So. Going back to gigs and say local scenes and scenes, what has been the best response? Has there been a certain area or like a certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Not genre. No, I'm trying to think of something technical, but it ain't happening. Some kind of good word.
Yeah.
Enjoyable? That's not good enough, is it?
No, it's not.
It's an enjoyable word to say.
You know when you go from a place to place, it's like a niche, like
a place that you wouldn't usually go and play on the outside, but when you get in there and you play it, you suddenly go, wow, that was a really good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, Percy's.
Where's that?
In Whitchurch.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's ridiculously good.
Yeah.
They're really nice. They make you feel like you're rock stars when you go there. And we were the first instrumental band for them to put as a headliner, because I was there with my other band, and then Archetype were doing well, and I said, put us on as headliner, and they're like, well, we don't really put instrumental bands. I was like, you know what I'm like, and they went, okay then. It was packed. We got an encore and everything. You know what I mean? Like, played like an hour set as an instrumental band. They don't usually have instrumental bands, but they got it. They got it. So it was just like, they went mental, and it was great. So yeah, definitely Percy's.
Oh, wicked. Off the cuff question, completely separate. So we're a radio station, as much as we can be anyway. If you were to have your own radio station or radio show, what would be the first record or track you would play, and why?
It would be Honour Thy Father by Dream Theater, because of the drums at the start of it are mental, and it's an absolutely awesome song. And it's one of those ones that you'd hear and you'd go, this is Dream Theater. Because a lot of people go Dream Theater, they go, oh yeah, Dream Theater. But then they hear that song and they go, this Dream Theater. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, it's quite heavy. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, it would definitely be that.
Cool. Any pointers you would like to give to budding musicians or somebody who wants to go out and start a band? What would you be your advice to them?
Well, the obvious one is practice is definitely important, but it's also important to always perform.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, you see them, like they're really fast and they're great, and they'll go like staying in one place. But I want to see somebody go. I prefer them to play something that's simpler and go crazy. You know, especially if you're going to watch them do a performance and they do, you know, they're doing that, but they're going crazy, and you're like, yeah. Whereas if they're just there doing like that, and you're just like,
Okay, you want a bit of stage presence.
yeah, I think so. And vibratos on guitar are very important. I've heard people do bends when they go, whereas you're supposed to make it sing. You know, that kind of thing.
Give it some
all that kind of stuff. It's like you could play as many notes as you want, but if you do a good vibrato, people fucking stand up and listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the whole reason that Eric Clapton and all that are just so good, because you hear that vibrato, and that's their voice through their fingers talking. That vibrato is what makes it like you go. Yeah, I'm feeling that now. Whereas if you just play a note, it's just anyone can do that. But as soon as you vibrato, everyone does it different. Same way that everyone sings differently.
Play a little bit myself. I like to put a bit of vibrato. You just play the one single note, it just sounds really boring. You add a little bit, there's a little bit of that in there.
That's right.
Boom, it sounds 10 times better.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
There you go.
Cool. I am MadMartin from UG Media. This is 1/3 of Archetype.
Correct.
Now we've got it right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We will see you soon.